say as precise as possible. Ensure that you take away enough knowledge from this webinar. And I'll go live. So before I go live, just a short introduction. My name is Malhar Barai. I am based out of India. I have a professional experience within the internet domain for almost 15 years now. I've been, say, an avid blogger earlier, but much of my professional experience had been into say probably developing websites. I was a coder earlier, moved on to business roles. I work with almost 4 billion organization, which goes by the name of Tech Mahindra. I head the practice, the media and entertainment practice. So we do have customers within the core media domain, the broadcasters, the gaming agencies, and the likes of it. I had been a digital strategy head for Tech Mahindra in my earlier role as well. So it's kind of a mixed role, a technology guy turned marketer. So I still love technology, learn a lot of SEO. Try to learn, probably I wouldn't say I'm a guru as Anton says it, but I am a keen learner, so which I guess all of us should be. So off to the presentation now. That's a brief introduction, and say even beyond this webinar, if you would like to ask me anything, I usually track the hashtag #AskMalhar. So you can probably, if you're on Twitter, you can follow me and use the hashtag. I track it pretty closely. So off to the webinar, I'll just go say put on my presentation. Give me a moment before I do that. And then, are you ready? Cool, sir. Okay, I'm going live on the presentation. So I hope you're able to see this. Cool. So the topic of the day, on-page SEO. So I guess we had quite a lot of interaction between myself and Anton, finalizing a topic and something which was closer to my heart, close to what I have been doing. So this is something that we have been doing for a while now, and I see if I can start off with say 15 years back. When I started in the internet domain, it was pretty nascent. So all you could do that time is stuff a page. It could be an only HTML page, stuff it with keywords, and you could rank your pages. But it's no more that. We are in a very advanced SEO environment. Google is probably listening to everything that we do. It's tracking, say probably anything that we do on the internet. So this is something which has been closer to my heart. As I said, I'll take it on the small introduction. So this is all about me. So apart from my roles, I also handle a couple of other shows on the on Twitter, as well as Blab, which is a new platform. So I host Twitter chat, which is SEO Talk. It has been say more than 3 years now that I've been hosting this chat. Probably one of India's oldest Twitter chat. Apart from that, the Blab to Learn show, which I go live every Wednesdays on Blab. I talk to some of the marketing gurus in our country, probably share some knowledge on that. I also been an author of a technical book with a UK-based publisher. So it's all my technical roles. So off to the topic of the day. This is what I'm planning to cover over the next 1 hour. We will start off indeed with the site speed uh, and move on to how and why of meta tags. They are important, they are not important. They play an probably you can say key role in uh, ensuring you have enough conversions, clicks on your uh, SERPs. Then keyword strategy, so something that can help you to rank better on the search engines. While I will not be covering the AdWords part of it. I will be mostly covering the SEO part of the business. Finally, I will end with link strategy, say probably covering the basics initially and move to some of the advanced link backlink strategies. So off we go. We dive into the topic. As I said, started off, Google probably over last few years has been instrumental. It's kind of become an executive for search. You don't search nowadays. You just Google for it. So everything on the interweb, almost everything is tracked by Google. It crawls everything, every possible thing. And as far as say 2012, that was 30 million unique URLs. So I guess today it should be about 50 trillion URLs. With a crawl rate of 20 billion plus, you can imagine the amount of information Google stores. Now, again, as you know, we have moved to device-based searches. We are probably live on our devices for almost 15 hours a day. So it's important that you optimize your sites for mobile. So it's no more an option. You have to go. You have to rank them on for optimize and rank it for mobiles. Moving on to semantic search, I believe say a couple of years back, Google came back with their uh, way of implementing semantic search, and I probably think that was the best innovation from Google so far. What we do is it's become more conversational. The search is becoming more conversational, so the importance of semantic search cannot be taken lying down. So ensure that your sites are optimized for semantic search. So what we have to do now is we have to say integrate all our efforts to ensure your site works well, ranks well, and gets more clicks. So right, as I talked, more search is happening on mobiles now. You don't search. You really do not type things now. You talk to your phones. You search. You just say, okay, Google. You talk to Siri. You talk to your devices now, and ensure there are pages for it. The other part was search is getting descriptive. You do not do a keyword-based search. What you do now is probably you write down your question. It's how can I find this? Where do I find this? Where do I find my favorite restaurant? Where can I get best Italian food? I don't search for Italian food. I search for where can I get best Italian food. So it's become descriptive. It's becoming transactional. You because on your mobile devices you talk to the device. So it's becoming more transactional, more conversational. So ensure that you have your experience. It's all about user experience these days. So we need to ensure your websites have a rich user experience, has enough information for the readers. What is best user experience? So the way I put it is how easy is it for you for the readers to discover your website? Have you used the best? Have you used appropriate keywords? Is your page loading fast? Because mobiles is, again, it's all about usage of data. It's for probably developing countries like India. They don't come cheap, so and they are not very fast. So is your web page good enough to load fast? Again, is your content easily readable? Do you think do you have information which is which people can easily take, easily consume? And finally, is it easy to navigate your website? Can people go to different places by click of a button? Or what I probably advocate within my organization and at places that I interact, you should ensure to have a one-click experience anywhere on the site. You should try to have it only one click. Can you do that? That is where you should aim for. So I start off with the most important aspect based on say something that I have seen so far, site speed. What I have observed probably while Google, though implemented or you can say included site search as part of its algorithm in 2010, it was much earlier, probably where they had a patent that they started using, and they were tracking the site speed. So that officially became part of the ranking in 2010, but Google was in fact tracking it much more earlier. What happens? So why it is important to have a good site speed? So apart from the user experience, what we have seen is probably if your site doesn't load fast enough, it does not rank because no one clicks it. You if you look at Google's, probably the way it searches, the way it crawls. I wouldn't say crawl, but whenever you put a keyword or a phrase on the search, Google probably on the back end it searches for the sites, and if your site has not loaded probably in the time of when they have run the search, it does not get listed. So every time you run a search, it does not get listed. The number of clicks goes down and your ranking goes down. So that is an important aspect. So that is the reason you should have an optimum site speed. Now going back on the, say, if at all someone has clicked on the website and it is not loading, as you see the stats, 40% of people abandon the website. That takes more than 3 seconds to load. I have seen websites which, even my personal website, so my personal blog, it used to take me about 12 seconds to load. And what I saw was there were a lot of challenges because there was code that was externalized. Sorry, I'm just taking a sip of water. So that is 12 seconds is a very high amount of time for any website to load. So what we have seen at optimum, say the page loading speed should be about 6 to 7 seconds. So that is where you should aim for. As you see again the stats, back to the stats, 1 second delay in a page response results in 7% drop in conversion. So you can understand what less site speed can do. So why optimize? As I said, slow website do not crawl. So you need to ensure uh, yes, your crawl is fast, so the site speed should be more. Now, as I said, since it does not get listed in your SERP, your keywords and pages associated with the website will also lose the ranking. Less ranking, less traffic, less conversion is what I tell everyone. So ensure that your site speed are say apart from the quality score for AdWords, it's more in terms of ranking on the on Google's pages. Now the other part, say on the technical part of it, so the speed again also depends on from where you are loading the website. So someone from the US might see that the site loads in 3 seconds. If you are trying to load from in the UK region or from the Asia region, you might see 6 or 7 second loading time. So how does that affect the SERP ranking? Yeah, so the moment your site loads faster on at a certain geography, the chances of it ranking high for that geography is higher. But for other geographies, it is again a challenge. So you need to ensure, so there are various tools that will allow you to track the site speeds at different locations. So that is one way you can try. Now, why those delays happen? So the delay is more there are, I would say there are multiple reasons for the delay. So the primary of it, which I found on my own website, was the codes were not externalized. So I had JavaScripts and the CSS on on the home page only. So uh, that was taking a long time for me to I would say Google was taking a long time to read through the codes and load the page and crawl the page. Apart from that, there were images which were very heavy. So uh, anything greater, so probably my images were somewhere around 40 to 45 KB, and I had about 4 or 5 such images on the home page. Now what that happened, that again led to slowing down of the loading time. Uh, though the incompatible plugin things, I guess. Say if you're using something like WordPress, you do get a notification now that your plugins are say probably older. You get to update a plugin uh, regularly to ensure that your incompatible plugin issue is addressed. Something that I observed, say probably it's been a very old thing. Uh, so even during the earlier days, I would see people put in 3, 4, 5, 6, so many ads. I would say so many ads on their home pages, on the pages. Now you need to understand that these codes are external JavaScripts. Those ads are external JavaScript. So the more the number of ads, you are not getting any dollars for it, but in fact you are losing traffic. So optimum number of ads, one or two the max. You can have one ad on the side and one as a header, but more than two, there are enough chances of your of delay in the loading times. The final aspect, which we do it pretty often, I would say pulling of external resources, which is we link to multiple places. So even something like calling a YouTube video on your web page or a slide share deck on your linking your slide share deck. That is equivalent to having a iframe tag. So if you look at those codes, it's usually an iframe tag. Now, what happens is your page is you already have an HTML page, and there is one more iframe which is as good as loading an additional page on your on your website. So ensure that you are not pulling too much of external resources. There should say probably one or two again. I recommend only one external resource to be pulled, and ensure that they have been optimized appropriately. How to say probably what are the ways to optimize the site speed. So this is something, a small graphic on about my own website. This has been pulled out from Google Page Insight tool, which I personally believe is one of the best tools to know your site speed. Apart from that, the other tool I suggest is GT Metrics. What it does is it ranks your page, any page, ranks your page or website, gives you a number which you can probably interpret as how your site is ranking in terms of site speed. What Google and also GT Metrics does is they also recommend steps to improve the site speed. So what I have seen personally is apart from externalizing your JavaScripts and CSS, you also should ensure that you have cache set up on the server, as well as CDN. CDN, again, not I guess there are very few free CDNs, but there are certain low-cost CDNs that you can probably look at. WordPress users, I guess Max CDN is one of the better places to look at for CDN. What I also like is Minify. I will probably be taking, okay, sorry to move it. So Minify, what it actually does is it improves your code, how it is crawled by Google. So Minify will say probably lower the amount of code that is being read by Google. Say typically for and it uses multiple resources. So Minify is usually for HTML, CSS, and JavaScripts. So what you can do is for WordPress users, you have the WP Minify tool, which you can use. For other users, I guess there are Yahoo has a tool which can help you to minify those codes, and I don't recollect, but there was one more tool that that helps in minifying the codes. So you any website webmaster should ensure that the amount of code is minimal for Google to crawl it off in an optimized way. So any questions so far? Oh, I guess there are a few questions. Anthony, no one? I see something. Okay. Sorry, Anthony, you're on mute. You're saying something?
No, I wanted to interrupt you. No, I'm pretty sure guys have questions to you, but no sport questions. So if you have finished, have you finished your presentation?
Yeah. So that's the first part is finished. So the site speed, and then if you have any question on site speed.
Yeah. Okay. We'll ask Nitin. Okay, we have a new guest here, Amir from Egypt. He is SEO from Egypt, or studying SEO. Amir, do you have any question? Nitin, Sunita, do we have any questions on speed issue?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
No, seems to be we don't have exact questions on a speed issue. So if you have more presentation, you can go on. If I'll check web page and see if there is questions, and I will type it to.
Perfect. So what I would assume is either I am so good or I am so bad.
Well, my experience is not this first. Yeah, I do have some questions, but it's not particular speed. They're more general questions, and people sometimes they are shy or they have to think about it, and you have to take another thing in account. There is a small lag between what is going on in the webinar room and it's 30 seconds or up to a minute on the YouTube later. So you're asking a question now, and there might say question. So I okay. Nitin says no questions either. So you continue with it. If we have a questions, we will ask. Don't worry, will be some question at the end of your presentation.
Perfect, perfect, Anton. Okay, I'm moving forward then. Right. So the next topic. So meta tags. Are they, as I said earlier, so during my introduction, I said, are they important? Are they not important? Personally, I would say they are still important. They might not be one of the key ranking factors now, but they are very important for as far as the user experience is concerned. The reason I say user experience is the moment you type in any phrase on Google search, you see this as the result. So you see a title, you see the description, and that is where there are chances of people knowing what the page is about. That is where I think they are still important. While again they might not be the key ranking factor, but they are important for people to know what this page is about. And say that can increase or decrease the number of clicks that you are receiving. And so if people are in doubt if they are skipping any of those tags, updating any of those tags, you should not, because ultimately you would want people to visit your website, and the easiest way is to give them what they want. So please do not skip it. And as I move it, so the important part of it, the title tag, why I say it is important. You saw title tag being used on your results SERPs. So apart from that, it also resides at top of when you load the page. So the place that is marked in the red, so your title is rest there, and it is easier for people to find it. So like say people like me who has about 20 tabs open, it's easier for me to know say where this particular what that article is about. So it's easier for me to track it and open it and read it. So that is one important reason. Other say the best practices of the title tag is it should be about 5 to 10 words. So more than 10 you see here, more than say about 4, it has already crossed the boundary of the tab. So keep it smaller, but it should be say it should entice the users to probably click and go through the page. From SEO perspective, yes, you should have your keyword or key phrase as part of the meta tag, as part of the title tag. It's an rank. It's one of the ranking factors. So please ensure that you do have a keyword or a key phrase as part of the title tag. As far as description goes, what you should ensure is there should not be too much information. No duplication of content but what you should also do is again have your keyword, the targeted keyword there. So for example, if you see here, what I was searching for is meta as part of my keyword phrase. So the moment that keyword was, let's say, the SEMrush site got listed there, and if you see at those lists, the keyword appears in bold. So you should ensure your focus keyword is part of your description tag, as well as the title tag. And the moment your keyword phrase is keyword tag or keyword phrase is matched in SERP, it will turn bold, and the closest result, which has bold title, gets more clicks. So that you should also take note of. The other thing which probably many of us miss out, including me. So probably I used to miss it earlier, but not now. We hardly put a call to action. So if you look at this particular result, uh, there is a call to action. Want to know? So that's a very important call. That will entice the user to click on it and really want people to probably learn what this article is talking about, what this page is talking about. So it's very important to have a call to action as part of your description. There is again, this is an important thing that I also wanted to cover. Probably it's a bit of a advanced topic and probably warrant another entire webinar. But in the interest of time, what I would cover in a very short duration is the structured data field. So Google, the Google, Yahoo, Bing, and few others got together and have come up with structured data fields, which gets crawled by each of them, read by each of them in a similar way. So Google has its own markup helper. You can probably search for it and click on it, log into the markup helper, put your website address. The way it runs is it can identify what the page is about. So it's more easier for people to know what a particular page is about. So I given an example here. A page that was probably taken care of by a data markup helper. What you can see on the right side is rich snippets about the entire result. So you can see rating. What you see is the cooking time is also there. See, there are more examples of it. So if you are tracking some event, then you can probably go to that event. If you search for that event, you will, if they have used markup tool, you can know what date that event is being held, what location it is being held. All those, there are multiple fields in the markup tool that can allow you to pass on information. Now, as you see, how this helps is the moment you see this information, again, there are chances of people clicking it, and that is how, again, as I said, more the number of clicks, better the ranking in Google. So some of the tools that I recommend for meta tags. So you can use the word string keyword tool to get meta tags. If you are a WordPress user, you can ensure your meta tags are updated via plugins like Yoast SEO or all-in-one SEO. So if you have any questions, Anton or anyone. Okay, I have Nitin. Okay.
There is a question actually about speed. Yeah, Mitin has a question, but there is a question because it was just as I explained, it's kind of slow and everything. It was a question, I think, from Mexico, from our regular from Mexico. What's the ideal size for images on an image-intensive site to ensure mobile load speed? Any?
I would not say there is a perfect answer to it, but the way I have seen it, what I have observed is anything around 15 kb or less is good. Anything more for if typically you are.
You said 15, 1.5 or 50?
1.5, 50.
So very small image should be.
Yes. So you have you can use a tool if you are again a WordPress user. There is a tool called Smash It. It reduces the website images. And there is one more site called TinyPNG. I guess, yeah. So TinyPNG will you can bulk upload the images, and what it does is it will reduce the size of image, reduce the size, but not the what you can say, the dimensions. So it does not reduce the quality of the image, but it will reduce the size of the image.
Okay, there is another question from Nitin. Nitin, I prefer to type it in your chat, but somebody has to read it up out loud. Otherwise, our spectators would not understand what questions you are answering. So, Malhar, would you mind to?
Okay, I am on the chat. So, okay, any idea how much time Google takes to detect schema?
I'll read it.
Better. Go on.
Yeah, I'll read it. So yeah, the question is, so do you have any idea on how much time Google takes to detect schema? So I actually implemented this on the website, and it's been a lot of time now, and I'm not able to see schemas in SERP. So do you have any idea on this? How can we kind of force or request Google to start showing schemas if they're implemented correctly in SERP? Is there a way?
No, as far as say, I have seen there's no defined time. You know Google, so yeah, there's no set time that they promise that they will start probably looking at it. But what I have seen probably in my experiences, it does. So I'm not sure how long it has taken for you, but for me, I would say little less than a day, so probably more than 24 hours, and most of the things get listed. So I'm not sure what your experience is, but again, Google, Google, they don't provide a reason for anything. So there are no definite answers for it, but my experience is say little over 24 hours, and there are things listed.
There is another question from audience. Which other equivalent plugins for Drupal?
Oh wow. No, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for plugin for Drupal. But say, are you looking at what kind of plugin are you looking at? Equivalent to what? Because Smushit or Tiny PNG, if it was related to an image, you can use Tiny PNG, which has the capability of bulk upload. Yeah, Nitin, you can go ahead, please.
Oh, difficult.
Yeah, sure. So all you need to do for this is lossless compression, and for that there are many APIs available. So you can use any one of them. For instance, there is an API kraken.io. You can use that. and there are many other tools, so you can use any one of them for lossless compression. That is what you need. So Malhar actually pointed out a few you know, plugins for WordPress and other tools. So all of these tools are actually using lossless compression, nothing else. So what you need to do is lossless compression, and lossless compression actually reduces all the it actually removes all the metadata for that particular image from the image. So if your image is of 2 MB, so probably there is very less data which is required to describe that image, and then other data probably like place information and other information, all these things, right? So that lossless compression actually removes all these things and reduces the size of your image. So all the tools are using the same thing. So probably instead of looking for the specific plugins, you can go ahead and explore Kraken.io or other similar tools for lossless compression. Yeah.
Thanks, Nitin. So yeah, again, I guess tiny PNG or something like Minify can help you, but yeah, Smush It is pretty much WordPress specific. So if you have WordPress based website, you can look at Smush It.
Okay, I hope it was an answer to your question, Alexander. A question from a YouTube channel who's watching us right now. If you have follow-up, just type it again, or I send you a link so you can join us and ask questions straight forward. Okay, I'll check. But Malhar, go with your plan. So I don't see I have more questions so far. If I will, I'll. Okay. Yeah, Gear asked what's loss, what compression. I think, okay, Nitin, your question, your explanation.
Yeah, it's lossless.
Okay.
Does that answer?
Well, it wasn't my answer, so we'll see. As I said, there is some time lag. So, okay, okay, guys, everyone who really have sport questions, and yeah, you type in here. Yeah, I'm shy. You don't have to switch on camera. You can even use your picture or whatever. But it's much easier if you're here. You're asking questions straightforward, get straightforward answer and follow up. Otherwise, I'm translating with the time. Okay, Malhar, let's go with your plan and what's next?
Next is keyword strategy. So probably something that will interest a lot of people. So as I said at the start of the conversation, search is getting more descriptive and conversational. What people are doing is they are no more searching for Italian food. They are searching for where can I eat Italian food or where can I get the best Italian food. So it's changing. So that is where your keyword strategy also has to change. Apart from that, what businesses should do, or brands should do, is look at long tail keywords, something that can help them rank for a longer time. Focus for what try to find what kind of keywords will help them for to stay in the search results for a longer time. Apart from that, say what I recommend, and I guess most of the gurus recommend is not to have more than 2 keywords or phrases in your on your page. So, and the final point, which is much more traditional, so you should have it as part of your first paragraph. You should have it as part of your title tag. You should have it as part of your description. You should have it part of your H1, H2 tags, URL, image name, etc. These are some basics, and I guess most of us implement that. But say if you are not amongst that crowd, you start you ensure that your keywords are part of the first paragraph or image name and other things as I have listed here. So, as I said, the importance how people search these days. So I was looking at this report of Blue Nile. So what people, as I say, they don't search for a term now. What they search for a phrase, which is like 4 plus, and they are also looking at voice search. So most of them talk to Google, OK Google or Siri, and that is how search is happening these days. So that is one of the key reason you should have your keyword strategy optimized. The focus on long tail. This is something, if you have not uh, gone through this blog by Neil Patel, you should. And that is one place I recommend. I strongly recommend, in fact, to know about long tail keywords. So the way it has been explained over here, it's probably much more self-explanatory, but what I would make an attempt to probably explain that. So if you look, if you are a business again, so if you are selling chandeliers in Arizona, what you do is the long tail is people search for the entire term. What is, where is a sale happening in or chandelier in Arizona? So you try to rank for that, but go upwards, and you go to where do you put a chandelier? So what you really want to put it in your house. What is a house? Houses, real estate. You are searching for that real estate in a in a place called Arizona. So so that is how your strategy develops. You come to a very niche keyword, which is a long tail keyword, and try to rank for it. So the important part, as I said, how you should ensure the strategy part of it. So it has to be in your H1, H2 tags. The first paragraph. This is at the most basic level, but if you go to a little advanced level, uh, this is how I do. So to give you a glimpse on how I do my research on keywords, is basically I log into Google's keyword planner tool. Earlier it was available for uh, I wouldn't say free, but it was easily accessible to everyone. But now they have moved it as part of the AdWords strategy, AdWords, Google AdWords. So there is a little difficulty, but there are other tools for keyword planners which you can use. So I use Google's keyword planner, put in a specific keyword, try to see what kind of traffic it is generating. Now, based on that, that is one part of the research. The second step I do is I do a topic-based search. So what I do is I go to a tool called Ubersuggest. I use the keyword plus a particular word and see what kind of ranking is, what kind of uh, search is happening on those keywords. So your keyword plus another word. Uh, Apart from that, I also try to see what my competitors are trying to rank for. Uh, I love this tool, SEMrush. It is free for a certain number of usage. So if you're worried about the dollars, you can use it for a certain number of search. So what I do is I also look at what my competitors are trying to rank for, and what kind of uh, content they have as part of that keyword. Finally, what I do is I go to a site called BuzzSumo. I put that keyword plus the phrase that I want to that I have researched so far into BuzzSumo. and try to see, if you are not seeing BuzzSumo, you should be looking at it. But what it does, it crawls to multiple social sites and other places, and shows you what content has got maximum number of shares, what is being shared by people. So you'll get an idea of what kind of content is ranking higher, and then finally you can go to that content and see, can you beat that content, can you write an equivalent content of it. You should ensure that you are not writing content which is inferior to what is written so far. So this is the way I do it. Probably it's little tedious. It's the process is little longer, but this will ensure that you have content that ranks much higher in SEO terms, because this is the content that will probably get shared and clicked by more number of people. So that is basically on the keyword strategy. Some of the tools, as I said, I use Google's Keyword Planner, Google Suggest, and SEMrush are the tools that I recommend. And then, oh yeah, Nitin, BuzzSumo is something that I love. So Anton, this was all about the keyword strategy. So you want any questions?
Do we have questions, guys? Keyword strategy. Okay, you said BuzzSumo. Everybody said BuzzSumo. It looks like now tool of choice. Actually, Rand Fishkin, when when asked about, because Moz, they do have their own. They launched it, I think, a year. No, was it? No, I think it was less than a year ago. Moz content, and he asked what he used, and he said, no, I can't lie. I don't use Moz content marketing tool. I use BuzzSumo. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, and after that he said, "Well, I can't lie, because if I start lying, saying the Moses better and everything, people stop listening to me." Okay, it's a good one. I'll check. Do we have any question, guys? Guys, do we have questions? Okay, I'll check it. No, I don't think we do. So, but it's as I said, it's a bit time lag, so some question might come. Okay, do we have anything else for tonight? Whatever. Okay, it's definitely tonight in India. It's tonight here, but in the United States, it's still morning. Malhar.
All right, I'll move to the next topic.
Okay.
Okay, this is the final one, so I guess I would not take too long in this. But again, link building is pretty important. So if you are ranking your website to know people that you are an authority on the subject, how will people know? One of the ways Google understands this is are there more number of people linking to your content. So if the moment you have more number of people linking to your content, the authority of that site increases, and that is how your ranking improves. So it's very important to building, but again, it is important not to attract spammy links. So what you need to do is stay away from all those link exchange, the directories kind of links. What you need really is content that is again, as I put it, it has to be wow. It is something that people should love to share. So what we see these days is people probably put in different forms of content. They repurpose the content to different forms. So you will have a blog that also comes as an infographic, also someone creating a video out of it. people creating presentation out of it. So there are multiple ways to ensure that your content becomes shareable. So that is one more. What I find is probably infographics as one of the best ways uh, of making your content shareable. So you have a nice little infographic, share a code to link back on that page, and you'll see a lot of people probably linking to that infographic. So it's a nice way of building your links, but again, stay away from the spammy links, stay away from link exchanges, stay away from anyone who is paying you uh, to put a link there. So, and at the end, say probably after a couple of slides, I will also talk about the skyscraper technique, which is an awesome technique mm, given by a good friend, Brian Dean. If you have not heard of him, you should search for him. Go to his blog, Backlinko. This the skyscraper technique is explained in detailed way, and you will love implementing that. So to take care of the basics, link building, the basic things is your URL structure should be appropriate. So do not have something which ends with a question mark and a variable. Ensure that you have a static URL. Also, sitemaps is pretty important because that is one way of say alerting Google of new content. So ensure you have sitemaps implemented for your website. Also, so if you are tracking Google, if you're tracking Google Panda updates which happened last year, what they really attacked was any form of duplicate content. So sitemap is probably one of the easiest way to tell Google that this content appeared on your site first. I'm assuming that your sitemap is updated in few minutes after you update your content. So if you are doing it, chances are that Google will know that your site has the original content, and anything after that is duplicate. Apart from that, sitemaps are also important. If you look at Google Webmaster Tool, it can help you understand that if there are any errors with a website, it gets listed there and easier to track errors. The third part, say indexing of the pages via internal linking, you would want say one of the ranking factor is the amount of time people spend on your website. So you should not get a very high bounce rate. So to achieve that, you need to ensure that the visitor stays on your site for a long time, and one of the ways is to ensure that you provide them content that he does not leave your site. So if you have a page that is talking about Italian food, you probably link one piece of one word that gives also a recipe. So chances are there that he looks at a particular recipe. On the recipe page, you can have another link which is where to procure the ingredients. So that's one of the way you can ensure someone stays on your site for a longer time. Finally, what you should ensure is the social sharing should be as easy as possible. I should be able to say whenever I visit a website, it should be very easy for me to share it on my own social platforms. Because that is how people will probably find your link, click it, link it. If the content is good, they will link you back on their own content. So these are few of the techniques. Advanced technique, as I said, Skyscraper Technique, which brand has devised. It's a technique where uh, there's a lot of research involved, so it's not an easy, but interesting. The reason is you again go to tools like BuzzSumo, understand what kind of content is there, go to the backlinks, search for who has linked to that content, and if those yeah, if those sites probably, if that content is old, what you can is write is you can probably write a new content which is much better than those links, and share it with the people who have say a backlink to that content. So it's an interesting technique. I suggest that you search for it and look at it. You will see, if you do it correctly, there are chances that the kind of traffic that you receive after it would be much more better than right now. The other advanced technique I talked about, infographics. I love that for the reason being it's very easy. I would not say very easy, but you can use tools like Canva, or there is PicMonkey. You can create infographics. There's a site called visual.ly also. You can easily create infographics, share it on your own page, and invite invite other users to link it back. One easy way to build your links. The third is broken link technique. That is, again, it was part of Skyscraper also. It's an interesting way to do it. You have to go and find backlinks, links which are broken. So as the moment you hit a 404 page or so, what you can do is you can probably write the same content, connect with that user, the person who has backlink that page, and redirect them to your content. So chances are that they will change the link and point it to your content. So it's a way of again, a nice tactic to build your links. Finally, the outreach campaigns. I've seen a mixed success on outreach campaigns because uh, say people like me, I find it a little spammy way to reach out to me. So I am probably one of the worst examples for an outreach campaign. But yeah, again, it depends on the, say, probably people you are connecting with. If you have a good bunch of users, the outreach campaigns can work out in your favor, and you should get tons of people linking back to your content. Some of those sites, some of the tools that I use for research and links, Open Site Explorer to probably research on what kind of, say, content is there. At Ahref, I look at it for getting the backlink information. BuzzSumo, we just talked about. BuzzStream and Raven, again, for researching on links. GWT and Google Search, some of the best tools to probably find issues with your links, find some resolve some of the spammy links issues. So that's some tools that I recommend you to look into. All right, Anton, so that is all I have for tonight.
Why is donkey? Why is in German? Okay, I don't know, guys. It was a long webinar, so not everybody could sustain that long. Obviously, if we have questions, should know or just obviously, as Malhar said, you can approach him. I will publish his Twitter handle on our website. Is this the best way to? Malhar, could you switch on your camera back? So stop sharing the screen, otherwise
All right.
we will
Okay.
look
I will do
on the
that.
last slide of yours. Okay. Yeah, Malhar is with
All right.
us.
Back.
Man is with us. Okay. Malhar, what is the best way to approach you if our listener later on recording they want to ask you questions? What is the best way to do it?
Okay, the best way, again, as I said, Twitter Ask Malhar is a hashtag I track pretty closely. So if there's a question, you can definitely use the hashtag and put it there. Or else I am Malhar Barai across all the social platforms, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn,
Okay.
Facebook.
I'll put your Twitter handle on a chat in no time, no problem. Okay, so use Twitter, and Malhar has several events, so you can find them. One on the blog, another one C talks on the Twitter. Many things, plenty of knowledge. Okay, guys, if we have questions, should know. Nitin, do you have any questions? Nitin asked you to share a link with him, but you can just share it in a chat if you can find it, or you can do it later. Do we have any questions? You got it. Okay, he's already got it. Okay, do we have any questions? I'm checking all the web pages we are on. I cannot see many questions. Okay, yeah, it was a long webinar. Yeah, so I will ask one question because I wanted to ask. I was surprised to know this one. So I'll read the question basically. Okay. What about ranking and social signals? What do you think about ranking and social signals? Do you think Google takes it in account for ranking?
For ranking, so it is one of the ranking factors. So if you know Google, there are over 200 plus ranking factors.
Yeah, well,
So
I would have think as well, but we have our own Google. No, I'm joking. We have Andrei Lipasov, who's been doing Google Q&A with Bill Slavs, Cameron Jones, and next one will be with Fishkin as well. So I asked him personally today, and he said it a few times, and he said it officially on a record. Google doesn't take any social signals as a ranking. Okay, you might not believe him, but as Google, what he's saying. I was surprised to hear it because I read as you did, as probably we all, that's 200 plus or 2000, and a social signal. One of them, Google officially said it's not. Okay, funny enough. Yeah, I just
awesome.
I was gobsmacked. So well, okay. Okay, guys, do we have more questions? I'm checking. Nitin, if you have more questions, should know. And I'm checking our web pages where it could be no here. Here's no questions, and probably no. Okay, there are a lot of thanks. So do you have a certain preference for CMS, a preferred plugin for this? Okay, this question does mean anything to me. I hope it does to you. Do you have a...
So the CMS I prefer, yeah. So WordPress is something that is closer to the heart, closer to the business, and I've seen one of the strongest. There are other CMSs, but I guess the amount of learning curve for other CMSs is pretty high, whereas WordPress, driven by the community, strong community, you there's hardly a chance that you can go wrong on WordPress.
And a follow-up question was a preferred plugin for this? Are you...
Plugin for, no, so it's like I did not get it. Plugin for what? Whether multiple...
Yeah, okay. Okay, as I said, well, we don't have really much time today. If somebody who asks this question, I can't really read his name because it's kind of mixture of numbers and letters. You can ask Malhar, and I will publish his Twitter handle right now. Okay, so slides. Yeah, it's a typical question. Malhar, slides. Will you send me slides? Will I be able to upload them and to share with everybody? Your slides?
Definitely.
Yeah, okay,
Definitely.
so slides will be available. I will upload them and share on our web page. It's all we have time today. Tonight depends on where you are. Tomorrow we'll have a big conference, and we have international section of this conference. Check our website. We'll have live interview, live Q&A with Rand Fishkin. We will have Buzz Sumo live. We will have Similar Web live as well, and we will have Majestic, but Dixon Jones will be in recordings because he couldn't make it because he had other things to do, unfortunately. So tomorrow is a big conference. You're all welcome to watch it. Okay, just check our website. Malhar, thank you very much. Thank you very much for very technical, but very detailed one. Everything. People should come and ask you questions, but well, people sometimes are lazy. They think they will watch it in the recordings, but when you're watching it on the recordings, you can ask question. This is a problem. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Anton. Glad I could contribute, and I hope I did justice to the 1 hour you spent.
Thank you, everybody who were watching us. Thank you, Nitin. You were the strongest man. We had plenty of people, and they all left for different reasons, not excuses, reasons, and you stayed. Thank you very much. I hope one day we'll have you in a main seat as well, and you'll do a webinar for us. Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you very much for everybody. Have a nice day or nice night, depends on where you are. Tomorrow, I hope I'll see everybody. Watching Rand Fishkin live interview. If you have a question today, tonight, send it to me. If the question is good enough, I'll ask. I have only 25 minutes. Okay, thank you very much and goodbye.
Cheers.